Hi, Neil. Hi, Merle. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Um, I want to start off. I've seen the first four episodes and they blew me away. They exceeded my expectations. So, job well done. I really love it. It's a great show. So, yeah, congrats, I guess.
Thank you.
Um,
It's always a little nerve-wracking, when you're sending stuff out there, you're not quite sure what the reaction will be. So that's great to hear.
yeah, I can imagine you added a lot of stuff as well that wasn't in the games, and I think it worked out really well. But Merle, I want to start out with you. I heard that you were all instructed not to play the game before recording the first season. Did you listen to this advice?
Well, that's outright for me because of having so much experience with the game for the past 10 years. Yeah, no, I knew the game intimately and, had lived with Marlene for, a good decade and have loved her struggle and loved, the integrity with which she believes that she is making choices and walking in this world and leading and hoping to change the landscape of everything that everyone is dealing with. And so the real conundrum that I found was, oh my gosh, I'm actually wearing her clothes this time rather than the mocap balls, and to be comfortable in her skin, walking and talking, was a bit of a leap for me, rather than, the understanding of this incredible team of designers that at Naughty Dog that were going to, elevate whatever I might have laid down on the mocap stage. So it was a delight, but also somebody that I already knew very, very well.
Yeah. Yeah, something I noticed in the show, there's a great attention to detail for the environments, for the clothes. What was it like for you to act in this space?
To act in the space?
Yeah, with everything so detailed around you now.
I was reduced to tears every time I set eyes on something new, because I did love it so much, and I have experienced I have been a fan of the game as well, from having intimate knowledge of the care of the story and the moral questions that it poses that are important, I think, for all of us. When art's doing what it's supposed to do, it turns a mirror on our social condition, on our humanity, and makes us really think and consider. And I think that this is one of those great pieces of literature that does that. And so to see it elucidated, I was like, I think what made me so emotional was knowing how many more people were going to get to experience this and understand it, and in such a beautiful way, in a visceral way. So I'm going to dismount from there because you need to hear from me.
Yeah, I want to extend the question to Neil a bit. What was it like for you to see the world that you guys created be like come alive and the story be adapted for television?
I don't have the words for it. I was kind of like Merle, which is like, you have to understand, like at Naughty Dog, I got to make my dream game. Like, meaning the game I wanted to play more than anything that was just like locked away in our minds. We got to realize it digitally. So right, I could like see it in digital form and experience it. And then to be on set, standing around when like I'm seeing artists like, tending to like shrubbery and moss on like overgrowth, and the costume designers and the detail they've poured into like the patterns and getting it right from the game to like props. I had like, the prop department come to me with like Ellie's switchblade, making sure it was authentic to the game, or Joel's watch. And just like everything had so much care for it. It's that care that would make me emotional. Like, because it felt like a real space. Like there was a moment in time where like I'm in Waiters, I'm in a hotel lobby that was built up from scratch inside a soundstage, and it's flooded up to my waist, and I'm standing in it. And there's like Pedro and Bella in full costume as Joel and Ellie, and I just I couldn't believe it, and I just kind of stopped and like, appreciate this moment. Like, look at what like all this stuff we've done in Naughty Dog has inspired all these other artists that are now just pouring their souls into this thing. And like Merle, at times it moved me to tears. Maybe not as much as Merle, but here and there.
Well, It was actually the hotel lobby scene when I wrote down like the attention to detail is insane. Like it felt like the game, you were watching the game, but with real people. It was great to see.
That's cool.
Neil, furthermore, are there some things like working on this television production that you learned that you can maybe use for your next game?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's logistical things as far as like how production is handled, how organized, like just the whole HBO machine is. But a lot of it is just, being introduced to all these different artists and engineers. And for example, Ksenia Sierra, who is the DP for the several episodes, including the episode I directed, she's just now a close friend of mine. And I told her, I'm like, the next game I'm working on, I'd love for you to come in and consult or do something. We actually, the storyboard artist I worked with on my episode is now working on the next Naughty Dog game. So it feels like there's a lot of talent that's kind of like jumping back and forth. We had concept artists like Hyung Nam, who created the look for Joel and Ellie and created the look for the clicker, worked on the show, and we had to develop a new kind of clicker. We were like, okay, who should do it? We're like, let's get the original guy. He works at Naughty Dog, and we brought him over. So that kind of synergy, that back and forth synergy, one is unheard of, just the amount of like that collaboration that happened. But I think this will be the standard going forward. And I hope other adaptations have this kind of like deep collaboration with the original creators.
I hope so too. It looks amazing. Like you said, the clickers are very cool as well. Congrats on the show. This was it for me, guys. Have fun today with your interviews, and can't wait to see the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.